first we got to get through this ice and then get to the warmer end and see what we can get under our net in the warmer water trapped under the ice. Oh, no way. Look at that. Wow. Oh, man, we got to get these fish into the thermos ASAP. Hey guys, I'm Alexander Williamson and welcome to FISHTORY. So today I'm in Seattle and it's snowing. It's snowing out. It's one of the coldest days of the year. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to show you guys where there are fish living under the street. In a thermal pocket, there are some incredible tropical fish living under this very street. Even when it's snowing, year-round it stays about 78 degrees because of a steam plant that's nearby. Let's go check it out. All right, you guys, so just right over here, there is a manhole. And if we lift it up, or if you get under kind of the curb where there is a grate, you can see that there are ferns and things growing there. Where there's probably gonna be a lot of steam, so it might be hard to see at first. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my GoPro and my other camera so we can actually put it down in the water with this big light that I have right here. So I have a big old light set up, even though it's freezing out. All right, you guys, so we're setting out from my house as it's getting dark because I think it'll be easier to actually spot them with the flashlight. And I also think they'll be very, very huddled where the warmer water is. So hopefully we can kind of enter the back way and then we can kind of break down the ice and they'll be under the layers of ice and then far down the ditch. But before we go and do that, I want to show you the fish I've seen there in the past so that you can see them clearly with how cold it is and how dark and everything. All right, so I want to point out a couple of the fish that I have caught down there in the past, and I'm going to show them to you in this aquarium because we've got the beautiful yo-yo loach, not an expensive fish. It's definitely available at a lot of pet stores. And it's kind of a goofy looking fish, but it's able to eat algae. And I think that's made it pretty successful, as well as the autocinclus that live down there. And the main fish that you're gonna see is gonna be danios. And while a lot of people think of danios as a boring fish, they're actually really beautiful. And a lot of times people think, oh, I just have a normal danio, like the zebra danio or the leopard danio. But there are some beautiful danios, like these gold bar danios that just look like a leopard danio, or these chythid danios that are also in here that are sometimes called fire bar danios. And look at this, they've got really beautiful orange markings on them. Let me put a couple pictures on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. When these fish in my very tank were spawning, the colors were unreal. The females have this golden color that you can see right there with the big bellies, and the males turn purple and pink. So check out these pictures before we look at one or two more fish and a shrimp and we head out. So there are Neocaridina shrimp down there, and while cherry shrimp get put down there, and there may be some cherry shrimp like this or whatever down there doing their thing, most are probably going to be more of the wild mutt kind that are clear looking, like these up here that are just kind of translucent with a little bit of striping or spots, but they've kind of gone back to nature in their colors. They can have a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. It just kind of depends on what cross they are, but they definitely also eat a lot of algae, and I think that's kind of what everything eats there, other than maybe the danios and the loaches might eat some of the shrimp as well. You like your llama? Are you an unexpected fish? You never believe the kind of fish that I caught? Yeah, they'll never believe that I caught a cat that has a pet llama. It's unbelievable. Look at it. So another fish that I'm sure we'll encounter on this expedition is the Heteranda formosa, or the least killifish, which is actually a Florida and southern United States native, and the smallest live bear in the hobby / in the world. So this little female here, she actually probably has about 7 or 8 babies in her belly, and the males are much smaller, so it makes them a very hard fish to spot. So when we're looking, we're going to use the net sifting through plants and sifting through dark water, and it's very unlikely we'll see them from above. But not a brightly colored fish, but a pretty cool fish nonetheless. The last extremely common fish that I've caught down there is the endler and or guppy. So these guys are just about everywhere in the hobby. They're wonderful. Hey, there goes another shrimp. But there are all sorts of mutts living down there that have just been crossed with whatever people have tossed in there, because it's gotten pretty well known. It's on iNaturalist, and it's also on some of the hiking trail websites, and people just keep adding to what's down there. I've seen convict cichlids as well, and like I said, I've seen danios. But I guess we'll just have to go see what's actually down there tonight. All right, you guys, so I gotta come clean. I gotta stop the video. We gotta stop it right there. Stop. I'm not taking you anywhere to see crazy fish. I'm sorry. That was a waste of your time. That was a total time waste. It was to see if you would watch a video like that this long to get to this point where I tell you, guys, guess what? Most of those videos are fake. And I'm gonna tell you more about this, and I'm gonna tell you more about the nature of what is frustrating me as a creator so much right now when I'm trying to create content that is educational, that is full of interesting and unique information, and also why when you think you can go to Google and find information, it's not always accurate. It's actually very, very common for it to be incredibly wrong, but it gets parroted again and again and again. But first, let's talk about the crazy fish in the sewers and things. Now, there are people that have documented the incredible warm water areas where, you know, humans have a steam powered plant or a coal powered this or that nuclear power plant, and there's warm water somewhere year round for years on end, and that water is capable of hosting life like shrimp or like tropical fish. And somebody has irresponsibly let go tropical fish in those places. In fact, there's actually some incredible places I'd love to tell you about in a separate video. Like all the way out in Wyoming and Idaho, there are fish in the Grand Tetons National Forest that are out there, and they are living in geothermal hot springs. And so what's wrong with the videos that are out there that are doing 20, 30, 70, 100 million views across different platforms saying, look what I found in the sewer? Well, first of all, it's kind of encouraging people to keep doing this because it looks like they're thriving in these places. They're not being rescued. Also, you don't learn anything educational about the fish, and many, many times the fish that they pull out, they have to one-up what they did the last time. They have to one-up the last creator. And that's really the inherent problem with a lot of the content today, which is that one-upsmanship that goes on in our hobby. Pulling out an elephant nose mormarid from, you know, mucky, shallow water that's too hot, too depleted of oxygen, and way too hard to be functionally survivable for more than even 5 or 10 minutes. And yet there's our creators that show themselves pulling these fish out. They're doing poorly usually by the time you get them into a bucket, and they're gasping for air. This is actually abusing the fish for entertainment rather than saving them for entertainment. Now, of course, throughout Florida, there's lots of places, and let me just give you a rundown of the videos that are probably real. Peacock bass, Midas cichlids, any sort of cyclosoma species, any sort of guppy, endler, molly, platy, any of the live bears, swordtails, they're very likely to be there. Also, Florida flagfish, least killifish, some danios here and there in like private ponds and things, and also you'll see things like plecos in rivers, and that is a whole thing that I've done videos on. They'll cloud out the entire bottom of the river. When I went to Florida and the Crystal River, I believe it was 8 years ago now, they were spawning when I was there, and literally you could not see the bottom of the river. There were so many. So it's not like, oh, look what I'm saving, or look what I happened to find, or it's a hard thing to do. No, it's a terrible thing because they're taking over, and the state needs to do something. Like, you know, they're not really a tasty or edible fish, unfortunately, so they don't know what to do with them yet. But they're crowding out other fish, and they're eating the eggs of other fish. But beyond all that, you're watching this entertaining content. You know, it's kind of like, okay, what are they gonna pull out? And it can't be those same fish that they find every time. A convict cichlid, a jewel cichlid. It's always the same. There's about 30 fish that they'll pull out, okay? Maybe a ghost knife fish. Maybe if you're down in southern Florida, only Miami basically, will they pull out something really, really exotic. But most of the time it's that somebody let it go and they either knew it was there or someone told them it was there, which is basically staging it too, like in a pond in the backyard. A lot of the videos are that. And there are dozens of these videos, and the thumbnails are always ridiculous, and yet it works. And so as a creator who prides themselves, myself, and I, on getting you guys the best content that I can, I can't compete with the algorithm serving this up. That stuff is always gonna win. It's always beating me. So I figured what would happen if I tried it out. I wanted to see how the algorithm would treat me, because a lot of people won't even watch the payoff. They'll maybe scroll through it, but I wanted to make it long enough to just see on a hunch, like, how does this video do? So if you enjoy it, if you enjoy my other content, go ahead and like it, because I'm just curious, like, if I did a bunch of mindless content that's inaccurate and untrue, would it do great? Or is it, you know, something else about the channel? You know, I am not the most handsome man. I am not the most respectable man. I'm not the most well-spoken man. But damn it, I will get you the good information on fish. And if I'm wrong, I'll correct the video in a pinned comment right below, or pull the video right away. And, you know, that's why I love you guys as a community so much. But that's all I've really got to say today. Think twice before you spend hours scrolling. I do it too. Everyone does it these days. We almost lost TikTok, and it almost became a non-issue for the TikTok lovers. But, you know, there's still Instagram, there's still Facebook, there's still all these other things. But beyond that, what are you consuming that's entertaining and fun that I could make? Is there anything you'd like to see me cover with maybe an educational twist, where I could give you guys a little spoonful of sugar of education and a little spoonful of spectacle and interesting stuff? You know, when my health gets a little better, I hope to go down to the Amazon. I hope to go travel the world. I have a couple invitations that are kind of outstanding, and I would love to take people up on those. But as of right now, my furnace is broken, and I kind of just lost it the last couple days and decided, you know what, let's play with the YouTube and see what happens. So this is what happens when you put Alex in a house with a furnace that went kaput, and it's snowing the one day of the year in Seattle that it's snowing. And the last thing I want to mention is that there is a new thing that they're trying out where you can pay money to boost a channel of someone that you like. You can pay money and it will boost them in the search engine and suggested content. YouTube gets paid, the creator doesn't, and it's basically pay to play, and it's what the like button should do in the first place, right? So I just wanted to warn y'all about that coming out, and, you know, do your research. However you end up feeling about it, that's fine. I'm down to have a conversation with you guys about it all. But I would like to caution you that that is something that I feel is kind of wrong. And, you know, the fact that you can pay as a creator $200, $300, $500, $1,000 to get more subscribers and to get more plays, to get more video pushed on a specific video or on a specific likes on a video, literally above board through YouTube, it just seems really, really odd and kind of wrong, because that used to be something that could get you banned from YouTube when you do that with bots or insincerely. And now they're doing it somehow with YouTube by pushing it on people and highlighting subscribe buttons with little animations and kind of hiding the buttons other places and things like that. It's very devious, and I wanted to just kind of call out that pay-to-play mentality that I feel like we're seeing. So we'll see if this stays up, if it gets yanked down or whatever. But if you want to help me with my experiment, like, share, subscribe. If you're pissed off that this wasn't an actual video of fish in a snowy sewer, I'm sorry. We'll do that another time. I'll drive out to Idaho, and we will do that, I promise. This is the last time I will fake you out with a fake headline like this. But take care, you guys. You know I love you. Take care of yourselves, the people around you, and your critters, and I will talk to you next time.